Welcome back to Connections with Danielle. This week's theme is heat and flash floods. We are in Kansas City, so that means we are having our own weather pattern, as always. We've had so much water in the last few weeks, and then of course, we get into the sweltering heat. So we've got great information from Franklin, from Jamie Tyson with PuroClean, and Brian Dufour with Pier, all coming up. Thank you for being here, and I really hope you are enjoying the newsletter, and specifically last week's European staycation. It was so much fun to do, and I hope you've gotten out and enjoyed some of Kansas City's European hotspots. And this week, I will be out next week, but that doesn't mean you can't come and join all of the networking events. There are so many people that will welcome you and get you introduced to folks. If you do go to something, please let me know. I would love to make sure you have somebody there that can connect with you. I will be out for a small procedure, so please say some prayers and send positive vibes, because I absolutely believe in all the positivity and prayers. And have a great weekend. I know this is a little bit earlier than normal, but hey, gives you just more time to plan your calendar for next week and make sure your house is in order for the heat and the water. So I'm going to turn it over to Franklin now. Thanks. See you soon.
Hi, Franklin Tire here. In today's vlog, we're going to talk a little bit about the weather changes and how they affect different things and what you should maybe be doing right now. So as you know, we've had a really wet last few weeks. We had 11 inches of rain and we had 3 inches the other day, and there's a chance we're even going to get more. So now's a great time to take care of some things around the house. One is you want to look up at your roof and make sure everything looks okay there. You know, just kind of give it a once over. Probably everything is good, but you just want to make sure. The second thing you want to do is you want to make sure that your downspouts on your gutters are leading water away from the house. What you don't want to have happen is you don't want your gutters to leak water down right around the foundations, because that increases the water volume in your sub pump. So you want that water to get away from the house. The other thing you might check real quickly is look at grading. You know, see how your grade is away from the house, so that if water does pool, it pools out 5 or 6 feet away from the house instead of right up against it. You know, and those are some of the things you want to look at. Also, another thing to keep in mind is your sub pump. Your sub pump has worked really hard the last couple of big rainstorms. Now it is set in the box, not running for a couple of days. And what happens is they're soaked in water forever. They dry up, and now all of a sudden that little bit of rust on them keeps them from coming back on maybe. So go down there, grab the pipe, give it a good shake. That'll break that rust loose and get that sub pump ready for the next batch of water. So you want to check on that as well. Other things to take a look at while we're in this, you know, not only with the rain, but now we're in this heat thing. So with heat comes a couple of other things you should look at in your house. One is make sure that the hose that drains from the air conditioner is going to a drain, and make sure that it's running and not plugged up, because a lot of basement floods happen because of the air conditioning. That thing spreads water all through the house instead of going where it's supposed to go, because the pipe's staying closed. So you can just actually, I know it sounds silly, but you can actually just take that hose and blow up into it. And if there's any type of clog or anything, that typically will get it out and get it flowing again. So that's a good thing to check as well. As far as the heat, other things you should check during this heat thing is make sure that your car is prepared for this type of heat thing. This is a good time. A lot of batteries fail either because it's way too cold or it's way too hot. So it might be a good time just to run by AutoZone, let them bring out their little thing and check the battery amperage for you and make sure everything is good on that. Make sure your windshield wipers are good. Make sure you have a little emergency kit in your car, so if you get stranded or that type of thing. And the biggest thing is, don't drive into standing water. There's just no reason to do that. Go around, be late, don't drive through standing water. It's the worst thing you can do for your car. If you get stranded in it, it's just a mess. Don't drive through standing water. As always, be safe. And if we can help you here at the Franklin Tire Agency, please reach out to us.
Can you introduce yourself and tell me what you do?
Yes, of course. Jamie Tyson, owner of PuroClean of Olathe. So we are a mitigation company. So we get rid of damage caused by water, fire, mold, and biohazard here in the metro area.
Okay. Speaking of mold and water, we have had 2 flash floods in recent weeks, days really. So Thursday and again on Monday. And we have had even some of our friends that have had water in their basements. You guys have been out to some of our customers' houses. So thank you for that. But when we find water in our basements, what is like the first steps we need to do?
Safety is going to be priority. So if you have any or are concerned about any electrical wires or anything like that that are near water, don't go in there. If you can safely shut off the power, please do so. And then also if it's contaminated water, your flood water coming in, sewer backup water, all of that can have a lot of harmful bacteria. So you really don't want to get into that unless you have protective gear.
And then if we do get that, our next step is to call you guys.
You can absolutely call us, but it's really important to try and stop the source.
Okay.
So a lot of times that's, if it is a sump pump, is your sump pump working? If not, we need to get somebody out there that can fix it, a good plumber. If it's a leaking pipe, anything, shut off the water. Kind of stop that water from coming in if you can.
Okay. And then when we do get you guys in, tell me about your services.
Okay, so we will extract the water. You definitely don't want standing water in your home. Even if it's a 1/4 inch of standing water in your basement, you need to have that dried out because it does affect the structure and mold can grow. So we'll get in there, we will start extracting the water, drying it, put in dehumidifiers, because when you do have standing water in your home, that humidity level increases so much, and which will ultimately lead to mold.
Okay. And do you guys help document the damage, or is that something that our customers need to do?
We definitely take pictures of anything that has been damaged. We will document as well as far as where the water is coming in from and the work that we do, but personal belongings, anything like that, go ahead, document that. Your insurance company will need that.
Okay. So what are the things that you do, your steps?
Okay, so extracting air movers to dry the property, again using the dehumidifier, and then we will pre-treat for mold because we really don't want any kind of mold to start to grow. And then cleaning. So if we need to remove carpet and padding, especially if it's your more contaminated water, we're going to get that out of there. The drywall, if it's wet, we've got to get those. You hear about flood cuts all the time. That's to protect your home. We've got to get it dry so we don't get mold. I really, really encourage you to get a battery backup for your sump pumps. It's a lifesaver or property saver. You want to act quickly if you do have water in your home. The quicker we can get out there, or your restoration company can get out there, the more we can save and the less damage that'll be done. And finally, if you are traveling, taking any kind of summer trips, anything like that, please, please, please have somebody come in, check on your home, make sure that there is not any water in there.
Especially when, just like on Monday, all of a sudden, it wasn't really in the forecast, and then we're getting 1 to 2 inches of water an hour.
Exactly. And the fact I loved it. When I spoke to people, they're like, yes, my neighbor went in and checked for me and they found it, and right away we were able to get out there and get them taken care of. So very important to have a house sitter, so to speak, to check on your property.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello, this is Brian DeFore with KC Pier. Kind of want to go over today some things that will help with these rains that we're getting to help eliminate some water intrusion that you have on your home, if you have any at all. A big thing with how to keep a lot of water out of your house is to make sure that the gutters stay clean. The downspout extensions are 6 to 10 foot away from the house and at a positive slope away from the foundation. You have a positive grade away from the foundation, so when it does rain, the water is forced away from your house. Those are some of the general things that a homeowner as yourself can do to help prevent water intrusion. I know sometimes you've done all that and you still get water. Here at KC Pier, we do everything waterproof to a home that you need. To a simple crack injection, to interior drains, to sump pumps, to exterior drains, French drains, surface drains, anything you need to help eliminate the water intrusion that you have on your home. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to us. kcpier.com. Thank you.